welcome to Watercoloring Books. I'm Elizabeth Wade, and I am going to give you a little intro into watercolor before you start painting in your books. So I have 3 books available right now: Butterflies, Hummingbirds, and Wildflowers. And the first page and the last page of each book is blank. And this is for you to test colors, to practice your strokes, and just get comfortable before you start painting. But first, let's talk art supplies. One of my favorite parts about watercolor is that you just don't need very much. You need water and a paint set. So I've got 2 paint sets that I have created. One is the small 12 color one with a little refillable water brush where you can unscrew it, add some water inside, or you can just use it by dipping it into a water jar. And then I have this larger 24 color watercolor paint set, and both of these are available on my website. Both have beautiful colors. Both paint sets come with one of those refillable paint brushes, but I also sell my own brushes, and they come in 3 sizes. Size 6 is the most common, just all around good brush size. And then also sell in the set a size 4 and a size 0, which is great for detail. All right, let's get started with our practice pages. So open up your book to the first page, and we're going to talk about water, color, and brush strokes. And we're going to pretty much talk about them all at once. Another note is I like to keep a paper towel nearby just to kind of dab my brush or clean up any messes. So don't overthink the amount of water that you have in your brush. You don't want it to be dripping and messy, but you don't want it to be dry. So just dip your brush in, get it wet, and then tap it on the side. Now we're going to start with any color family you want. I love green, so I'm going to start with green. I never use green just straight, or really any color, just straight from the little square here. Always mix within the family. So I'll use a light green, a dark green, and it just makes for a richer, more natural color. All right, tip 3, this is a big one. I always add a dab of brown. I mean, a teeny dab, or maybe a little bigger one. This makes such a better color. I'm talking about mixing not just greens, but reds, blues, yellows. If you don't care for that, you could try tapping in like a little dab of gray. It just maybe dulls down the color a little bit and just makes it, I think, just softer and more realistic. All right, tip 4, brush strokes. So don't hold your brush like a pencil. Hold it a little angled to the paper like this. Not quite like a pencil. All right, we're playing with color and brush stroke at the same time. We're just going to make a big blob. We're testing this color. We're trying to see, do we like this green? And I put my brush to the paper, and then I apply some pressure and kind of fan out the brush. And I'm only going over it one time. You don't want to overwork your paper. If you look closely, you can see part of the circle or the blob is lighter, which is really nice. And then obviously some of it's darker. So watercolor is not supposed to be completely solid color all across. So you want to have that play. Another brush stroke that comes in handy is using your brush like a point and then pressing down on it and letting the brush fan out and make sort of like a flower petal. So this, I would encourage you to just do over and over, and any color will do, but this stroke is going to come in really handy. You also want to spend some time using your brush like a pencil and make some really detailed lines and practice your strokes that way. All right, now I'm going to show you how to blend. So you want to take a color, make a stroke, and then add quite a bit of water to your brush. And you're trying to keep that bottom part of your original stroke wet so it stays blended. You can see this top line is already halfway dry, and so you're not going to be able to blend it. So now I'm just using only water, and I'm just kind of pulling that color down. I don't go over it too much, but you've got a nice blend there. So this takes some practice, but you have a whole page to work on it. All right, so once you feel comfortable enough with mixing some colors, making some brush strokes, it's time to start painting your wildflowers, your butterflies, or your hummingbirds. And I want to remind you that you can keep coming back to this page and the last blank page in the book to mix colors, test them before you start painting the pages. It will make you feel a lot more confident.